So the year is 2022. The pandemic is finally slowing down, and you're at home on a Zoom meeting, when suddenly a new app called ChatGPT comes out, and it's topping app charts around the world. And soon after, the man behind this amazing new AI app is all over the media. A man named Sam Altman, aka Sama. Since then, he's been crowned as the poster child of this new AI revolution, with his company OpenAI releasing mind-blowing AI apps at incredible speeds. But I'm here to tell you that these shiny new AI apps and the genius AI founders are all just a distraction from the terrifying reality that is the AI revolution. A reality in which powerful tech bros like Sam Altman are all competing with each other to create the AI to rule all AIs, to possess the single most powerful piece of technology mankind has ever seen, far more powerful than all the nukes in the world combined. But there is one person that is trying to save us all from this AI dystopia, ruled by nerdy AI lords. And it's this unassuming French guy, Clément Delangue, the founder of a startup with a literal emoji as its name. Okay, but trust me, the friendly look of Clément and his startup is not telling of the true capability that they hold. Today, I'll show you why we need to care about Clément and his startup Hugging Face. And towards the end of the video, I'll share with you Clément's predictions for where he thinks AI is headed in 2025. Let's take a deepish dive into this.
Deepish.
So why should we put all our future hopes in a company that's literally named with the Unicode character U1F917, aka the Hugging Face emoji? Well, let me explain. So if you look at any articles about the current AI trend, the odds are it'll be talking about OpenAI or one of the big tech companies working on AI. And the one thing that all these companies have in common is that their AIs are proprietary AIs, meaning that these companies invest billions of dollars in gathering enough compute power to train a very advanced AI model, which they keep locked up safely in their top secret vaults. And the reason why they do this is quite simple. It's business. When you're chatting with something like a ChatGPT or Google Gemini, you're actually interacting with a proprietary model that has been created and is being hosted by one of these powerful and rich tech companies. And one of the things that makes these models so special is the sheer amount of parameters that it uses. You can think of parameters as the amount of brain juice that an AI model can draw from. The more parameters, the smarter the AI. But at the same time, more parameters mean more compute is needed to train and actually use the model. Hence why these companies are already making tremendous amount of profit from letting people like you pay money to access their precious AI models. And while these proprietary models are powerful and unfathomable from just a few years ago, they are just the tip of the iceberg of what these AI companies are working on. The end goal of all these companies is to become the first ones to create AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, the AI to rule all AIs. And with this kind of once-in-a-millennium opportunity to seize tremendous power, comes a savage development race between these companies. Big techs and even governments around the world are in a frenzy to reach the so-called AI dominance. And how crazy is it that all this is happening right in front of our eyes, but just behind the clever chatbots and image generators to distract us from the bigger picture? But here's the thing, what can we even do to make sure that our world doesn't end up in rubbles because of some tech bros wanting to assert their dominance? Well, we go in the opposite direction of these proprietary AI models, as in we go open source, and that is exactly where Hugging Face comes in. Now it's crazy to think that it's only been around 2 years since the launch of ChatGPT, but there already seems to be an endless amount of AI apps for almost any kind of task that you can think of. Apps like Midjourney for image generation and 11 Labs for voice generation are famous. But there are tons and tons of specialized AI apps being published every day. For example, an AI dedicated to creating the perfect LinkedIn picture. And the fact is that most of these apps are being built using one of the proprietary AI models. But this is where the problem lies. A slow but steady formation of a monopoly in the field of AI, which, if you had to guess, is not a good thing. But there is one antidote to this. open source AI. And the startup leading charge in the open source AI movement? That's right, it's that emoji. The startup is called Hugging Face. It's a platform for hosting AI models and datasets for machine learning. It's often referred to as the GitHub of AI models. And by the way, if you're not a nerd and you don't know what GitHub is, it's kind of like Hub for code. The idea of their business is actually rather simple. They just offer the venue where people can come and share AI models. But the reason why I say Hugging Face is the most influential startup in the whole AI revolution is exactly for that reason. Because this is the place where developers and AI scientists are coming together to create a feedback loop of innovation and peer review. It's been proven by history that open source is the best way to develop technology while balancing quality and safety. The kind of models hosted on here, while they're not nearly as strong as the proprietary ones, are super capable, allowing you to download them onto your device and use it on your computer to build apps on top of it. And best of all, most of these models and datasets are totally free to use, which is, when you think about it, just crazy. One quick side note. There are contributions by these big tech companies in the open source AI community, which is nice to see. But do note that these companies are only open sourcing their outdated or niche models and not their state-of-the-art models. So when you combine these aspects of Hugging Face, which is free, open, and safe, you start seeing the stark difference compared to proprietary AI companies who are driven by speed, market, and eventual dominance. Hugging Face is the kind of counterbalance that this world desperately needs right now. A company that is pushing against the big techs and the compute-hungry tech lords who are leading us down a very dangerous path of reckless AI development. And I'm not the only one who thinks this, because just in the past few years, Hugging Face has raised over $300 million in funding from the biggest VCs, valuing them at over $4.5 billion, reportedly. So the startup seems to be doing all it can to preserve democracy in the era of AI. But can we really trust the president of this new democracy? Clément grew up in a small town in northern France, and his childhood story is almost a cliche at this point for startup founders. Something along the lines of everything changed when he got his first computer. But in addition to that, he was also a natural businessman and was doing so well selling ATVs and bikes on eBay that they took notice and hired him to help them improve their business in France. But to get a better understanding of his core values, we should look at his time in university when he was getting tired of the way traditional classes were being held. This led him to join the then lesser-known online open university courses at Stanford, as well as creating a collaboration app for students. He even gave a TED Talk around this time, talking about a more open education system. So with his early experience in opening up technology for the greater good, he joined a startup called Moodstocks, which was an early image recognition startup. And from these formative experiences, he took away the power of two things. One, open technology, and two, machine learning, which led him to create a startup of his own, Hugging Face. Initially planned to create a friendly Tamagotchi-like AI chatbot. But during the process of creating this chatbot, Clément and his team kind of accidentally started to grow an online community of AI models.
And then progressively, we realized that there was something around kind of like not just creating the final application, but providing a platform, providing technology for companies to adopt this new paradigm for building software.
He was able to use his business skills honed by his time at eBay and knew that this is exactly what they should be working on, and made a complete pivot to creating an online and open AI community. And these are Clément's predictions for AI in 2025. 1. The first major public protest will happen surrounding AI problems. 2. AI will cut a big company's value in half. 3. He thinks at least 100,000 personal AI robots will be pre-ordered. 4. China will be the leaders in AI. 5. He thinks there will be a huge breakthrough in biology and chemistry because of AI. And finally, on a more optimistic note, he thinks we'll start seeing economic and employment gains from AI. So what do you guys think? I think that Clement's story and personality seems to be someone who has been genuinely excited about two things. About opening up technology for the greater good, and about AI. Compare this with someone like Sam Altman, whose character and motivation in this entire AI wave has been quite a contested topic on places like X. And I will definitely be making a video about him in the future, so subscribe now if you haven't yet. So why should you even care about all this AI revolution and Hugging Face? Well, if you're like me, there are some days when I seriously consider quitting my career and starting a little Asian fusion restaurant before the AIs get to my job. And on other days, I think about the positive and bright future that AIs can bring. And in this rapidly changing world, there are two things that I can say for sure about the ongoing AI trend. One, AI will inherently change the way people live and work, both positively and negatively. And two, letting a few big tech companies and governments control the most powerful AIs is a horrible idea. On top of the safety concerns, when this kind of power is in the hands of a few, it will be too easy for them to manipulate the opinions of the masses to their liking, as well as creating concentrations of wealth like we've never seen before. We already see a glimpse of this 1984 style thing happening in AI, such as Chinese AI models censoring about the Tiananmen Square incident, or big tech AIs answering with obvious political correctness bias. And while AI safety is a hotly debated topic, I tend to agree with the camp of experts that believe opening up AI models is the best way to keep us on the track of a positive AI future. And that might sound counterintuitive if you're not really familiar with the concepts of open source. But like I said before, history has proven time and time again that having more eyes on a piece of technology makes the technology better and more secure. And in this sense, Hugging Face might really be the one that will save us from a world of Big Brother and Skynet, where our entire lives are monitored and controlled by these ever-powerful tech companies and governments with their 1 gazillion parameter ChatGPTs. But to end on a more positive note, Hugging Face is giving power back to developers and creatives to take advantage of the super exciting technology that is AI. And they're enabling everyone to create tools that just a few years ago would have only been possible in a child's imagination. And that, I think, is pretty damn cool. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back with more startup related content in the future, so subscribe.